All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Friday, December 16th, 2022. More like almost a week till Christmas. This year's almost overflown by.
Yeah, it has.
But I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
I'm going pretty good.
I know neither one of us had a great day
Oh,
yesterday on our picks.
I got killed.
Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
I'm going pretty good.
All right. Checking the sound real quick, make sure everything's good. All right.
Together, I had 10 picks, and I was had 3 right out of the 10, 3 and 7. So.
Yesterday, see, I was 3 and 1, 2, 3. I was 3 and 5. And two of my picks I got right was the NFL game because I had the 49ers minus 3.5, and then I had the under the 43.5. And I had one NBA game right. No, excuse me. I was 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I was 3 and 6. Okay. 3 and 6. So not a good day yesterday after having a couple of good days in a row.
Yeah, I had a couple of days in a row of having a couple of parlays right, but I got my butt kicked yesterday.
That's gonna happen sometimes. You're gonna have days where you do real good, and other days you can't get anything right. We'll start with the day slated games, and then we'll get into Saturday and Sunday. NBA today, you got a pretty big slate of games. You got the Atlanta Hawks at the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are 3-point favorites, minus 156 on the money line. The Hawks are plus 132 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 240.5. I like the Hawks here on the money line. Getting the Hawks at plus money. Hawks have been the better team so far this year. The Hornets have gotten getting mellow ball back. That's going to help them some, getting some of their pieces back. But I like the Hawks on the money line, and I like the over the 240.5 in this game because both these teams are good offensively and not great on the defensive side of the ball. Then you have the Sacramento Kings at the Detroit Pistons. The Kings are 5.5-point favorites on the road, minus 215 on the money line. The Pistons are plus 180 on the money line. Over-unders at 237. I like the Kings in this game at the minus 5.5. Kings have been kind of a surprise team in the West. I think people thought they'd be better than they were last year, but not playing at the level they've been playing so far this season. Pistons are a young team. They just haven't been able to consistently play at a high level yet. I think the Kings have the better roster. I like the Kings at the minus 5.5.
What do you think the key is to the Kings being better than what people thought?
I think Sabonis is one key, and then De'Aaron Fox at guard has really been a big part of what they do there as well. So, but I think getting Sabonis over there, getting a big man that can play some defense but can also get you a double about every night, I think has really helped them out.
Yeah, I really like Sabonis. I hate to see him leave Indiana, but I mean, if you don't want to be there, then I guess.
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be there right now. I'd like to see him with all these young guys we have. Look what Turner's putting up.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we traded him and we got some good pieces for him, so you really can't complain. I questioned it when they did it, but
so far looking like it's going to work out. Maybe.
Yep.
You got Warriors at the Sixers. The Sixers are 10-point favorites. The Warriors are a mess right now. Steph Curry, his shoulder's going to be out at least 3 weeks.
What's the point spread on that?
10.
Oh, it went up to 10? Because when I looked at it this morning, I was looking, it was 7.5.
It's at 10 points right now on FanDuel. Over-unders at 221. I'd favor the over the 221 maybe, but I think the Sixers win, but 10 points the Sixers haven't been the real dominant team either. So I don't like the 10 points. But the Warriors are a mess right now. Like I said, no Curry. Thompson is just trying to get back from an injury. Wiggins has been out.
They've not played well on the road either.
Yeah, they haven't played well on the road even when they're healthy. Then the next game is the Indiana Pacers at the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have the Cavs as 8-point favorites at home, minus 320 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 260 on the money line. Over-unders at 222.5. The Cavs have been a strong team this year. They added Donovan Mitchell. Uh, they've gotten a couple pieces back for off of injury as well. But the Pacers have been playing pretty good basketball most of the season. Even in their losses, most of them have been real competitive losses. Haven't really got blown out a lot. Uh, I like the Pacers in this game at the +8. I like the 8 points. Even if the Pacers lose, I see this being a close game, maybe 3-4 point game. Because they're doing a lot. Excuse me, they get in a lot of close games. It seems like there ain't a whole lot of blowouts, at least not this year so far. Next game is the Boston Celtics at the Orlando Magic. The Celtics are 12.5 point favorites, minus 850 on the money line. The Magic are plus 590 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 225. This is a game I'm personally staying away from. The Celtics should win this game. 12.5 points is just too many points for me. For a Celtics team now that got blown out the other night by a team I didn't think they'd get beat by. I can't remember off the top of my head now. Bulls, maybe. It might have been the Bulls that
somebody really about real bad.
Yeah. Just like the Bucks got blown out last night. Yep. Bucks were down by 50 points at one point in the fourth quarter last night.
Yeah, I know.
To the Grizzlies. I never thought that. That was one of the games I had wrong. Brooklyn Nets at the Toronto Raptors. They have the Nets as 1.5 point favorites, minus 118 on the money line. The Raptors are even money at home. I like the Nets here on the money line. Nets have been playing some pretty good basketball here lately. Looks like that team's finally starting to gel together a little bit. So I like the Nets at the on the money line at the minus 118. You have the Knicks at the Bulls. Bulls are 2.5 point favorites, minus 138 on the money line. The Knicks are plus 118 on the money line. My problem with both these teams is neither one of them are consistent. They'll look tough as hell for a couple game stretch, and then they look like they don't know what they're doing. I favor the Bulls because they're at home, but it's a game that's probably not going to be in my best picks. Next game, Minnesota Timberwolves at the OKC Thunder. The Thunder are 2 point favorites, minus 126 on the money line. The Timberwolves are plus 108 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 223. I like the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Getting the Timberwolves at plus money against the Thunder, I think, is good value. Don't get me wrong, Gilchrist Alexander for the Thunder has been really balling this year, but I just think the Timberwolves have a little bit too much, especially with the defense they can play with their big guy down low. So I like the Timberwolves on the money line at the plus 108. Then the Portland Trailblazers out the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 4 point favorites, minus 178 on the money line. The Trailblazers are plus 150 on the money line. Over-unders at 226. Portland's been a team that's been playing decent this year as well. But Mavericks have been playing pretty good, and Luka Doncic's been playing as good as anybody in the league. I like the Mavericks at home here on the money line.
Do you think Dallas and I know we got some time yet before they get to the trade deadline and still well, but do you think Dallas will try to make a move?
I would think so. I think they would try to make a move.
Because you look at especially in the West right now, if they was to make a move, they could be the team to beat. I mean, with him, if they put a piece with him, because right now there's nobody really in the West just taking over the West right now.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't make a trade.
Who is there any names out there that you think that would be a good fit there that might be available? Man, no, it's early still.
Yeah. They might be able to get like maybe a Zach LaVine or a DeMar DeRozan or somebody like that from the Bulls if the Bulls keep treading like they are. And I think a score like that would help. If you get a score, that's why you need somebody else you can rely on the score to take some of the pressure off of him. And then the last game is the Denver Nuggets at the Los Angeles Lakers. The Nuggets are 1.5 point favorites, minus 120 on the money line. Lakers are plus 102 on the money line. Over-unders at 237.5. I like the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are the better team. and the Lakers they've been struggling with some injuries and stuff, but they have been playing a little bit better. Russell Westbrook's been playing pretty good coming off the bench, and I think, but I still don't see them as a threat. Yeah. Did you have any NBA?
Yeah, I got an NBA for Friday. For tonight. They changed the point spread on me, but I'm gonna still stick with it. I got Golden State at Philly. I'm gonna take Philly minus the 10. I've got Indiana +8 at Cleveland, and then I've got Denver -1.5 at the Lakers. That's my parlay.
Okay. Did you do any college basketball today?
I did not do any college basketball. I didn't do any college basketball at all this weekend.
Okay. I have first. Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead. I'll give out my picks for the NBA, and then I have one college basketball pick, and then we'll talk some college football. My NBA picks. I like the Hawks on the money line, Kings -5.5, Pacers at +8, Nets money line, and the Dallas Mavericks money line. And then in college basketball, I like Creighton on the money line to pull they're underdog at +130. They're at Marquette. Marquette's a 3.5 point favorite. But I think this is a game that Creighton can win. So I'm gonna go with Creighton on the money line. I think there's good value there against a Marquette team. That's the one game I have for college basketball. Do you have hockey?
Not for tonight. I just did. I didn't like any of the games tonight. I did for Saturday.
So I didn't really like none of the college basketball games hardly, except that one. So
yeah, I looked at the NHL for Friday night. I didn't like any of it, so I went with for Saturday.
Okay.
So I've got an NHL for Saturday. If you want to go ahead and give it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, my NHL for Saturday, I've got the Columbus Blue Jackets at the Boston Bruins. I'll take the Bruins money line win. I've got the New York Islanders at the Vegas Golden Knights. I'll take the Golden Knights money line win. And then I have the Florida Panthers at the New Jersey Devils, and I'll take the New Jersey Devils money line win. So that's my NHL parlay for Saturday.
All right. Let's talk some college football. You got one game going on right now with the UTSA, number 25 UTSA against number 24 Troy. UTSA is up 9-0 with about 10 minutes left in the second quarter in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. We got so many different.
Yeah.
Started laughing because earlier today when I was waiting on you when you was in the store, I was listening to Dan Patrick, and they were doing bowl or no bowl, and they would name off names, and he would try to guess if it was really a bowl or not. I was cracking up some of the different names they were coming up with, and some of the names are actually bowls too. It's like Jesus. Next game is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Because yes, Cincinnati at Louisville. Louisville's a 1.5 point favorite, -130 on the money line. Cincinnati's +108 on the money line. Over-unders at 39.5. I like Louisville in this game at the -1.5. Then you have Florida at Oregon State. Oregon State's a 9.5 point favorite, -345 on the money line. Florida is +270 on the money line. Over-unders at 52.5. I like Oregon State in this game at the -9.5. Florida's going to be like on their third string quarterback. They had one quarterback get hurt. The other quarterback is having legal issues. And then, he's having legal issues. So they're going to be on their third quarterback. I like number 17, Oregon State, the -9.5. Then you have Washington State University against Fresno State. Fresno State's a 4-point favorite. -176 on the money line. Washington State's +146 on the money line. Over-unders at 52.5. I favor Fresno State in that game at the -4. Then we have Rice at USM. USM is what is that? Probably Southern Missouri or Southwest Missouri.
I think so.
Something like. They are a 6.5 point favorite, -245 on the money line. Rice is a +198 underdog. I would favor USM in that game. And then you have SMU against BYU. SMU is actually a 4-point favorite, -188 on the money line. BYU's a plus 155 dog. Over unders at 64.5. I think that's going to be a real good game, actually.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm going to favor BYU in that game, giving up the 4 points. I like to beat BYU on the getting them at plus money. It will be I think a real good game. And then the last game is North Texas at Boise State. And Boise State's a 10.5 point favorite, minus 410 on the money line. North Texas is plus 315 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 59.5. I favor Boise State in this game, but I don't like the 10.5 points. I think that's too many points. Picks I like in college football for tomorrow are Louisville at the minus 1.5, Oregon State at the minus 9.5, Fresno State minus 4, and then I like BYU plus 4 against Washington State, or excuse me, against SMU. I mean,
yeah, my parlay is I got a parlay, but it's a little different than you. I took Louisville at Cincinnati, or I took Cincinnati money line win. I got Florida at Oregon State. I took Oregon State minus the 9.5, and then BYU against SMU. I took SMU minus the 4.
all right. Did you have anything else for Saturday?
No. All right. Well, I've got no. I just my football. I think my football's all Sunday. NFL. I didn't think
you didn't know NFL Saturday?
No, I think I just put.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll start with the NFL Saturday games. We'll kind of go through some of the games, and then we'll give out our picks for the weekend games. First game on Saturday, you have the Indianapolis Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 3.5 point favorites at home, minus 205 on the money line. The Colts are plus 172 on the money line. Over unders at 47.5. I think it's going to be a better game than what people think. Colts haven't really got blown out a lot. I know I'll say that after they're coming off a blowout at Dallas, but that was one quarter. Yeah. If you watch that game, it was a 21-19 game going into the fourth quarter, and then the Colts fell apart and gave up 33 unanswered points off like 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter. And the Vikings most of their wins have been one-score games. They won the most one-score games in the league. They play a lot of close games. They really don't blow people out, and they've been blown out by teams that we've thought they were better than as well. So I like the Colts at the plus 3.5 because I could see the Colts if they do lose this game, it being like a 3-point loss.
Yeah, looking at the statistics with Minnesota, I was looking at their defensive statistics earlier today. They're about the worst defensive team in football. Their
defense hasn't been playing.
It's hard to believe that their record is as good as it is. That says how good their offense really is, because their defense has not played well at any level.
No, they haven't, and then that's why I like the Colts at the plus 3.5, getting that hook, because I can see this being down to a 3-point game. Because like I said, Vikings play a lot of one possession games, and the Colts have been in a lot of one possession games as well, but. I can see this being a better game than what some people think. So I like the Colts at the plus 3.5.
If the Colts defense plays decent, I think they got a chance to beat Minnesota.
Yeah, I do too. And then next game is on Saturday afternoon game at 4:30 is the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 2.5 point favorites, minus 156 on the money line. The Ravens are plus 132 on the money line. Over unders at 38.5. I like the Ravens in this game. I think you're getting. I think it's pretty good value getting them at plus money. I like the Ravens on the money line. Only thing that kind of concerns me, and I would wait before I bet this game just to see, is that Huntley has been cleared. So as long as he gets to start and he's all right, I like the Ravens. I know the Browns have got Deshaun Watson back. Deshaun Watson hasn't looked good. I think it's going to take him some games before he gets playing better, but. I don't think we'll see the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston. I think people are underestimating how hard it is to sit out of a professional sport for 700 days, basically 2 years, and then come back and play. Because each year better athletes are getting into the league. I mean, with all the advancements we have with technology and stuff, these athletes coming out of high school and college, they're getting better every year. So you've been set back 2 years. So I just think it's going to be hard for him to get back to that level. Not saying he's not going to be able to play at a good level, but I just don't see him doing a whole lot this season. I think he'll do more next season after he has a training camp and off season to go through and get back in the swing of things.
See if the team can connect.
I know he got to practice some before he during the suspension, but it's still not the same. They don't hit you in practice, especially if you're a quarterback. So I like the Ravens in this game, even though no Lamar Jackson. I like Huntley has played well when he's in there, but he has to stay healthy. But they did say he was off concussion protocols, and they expected him to start on Sunday. So I like the Ravens on the money line.
Big key for Baltimore is with Lamar not being in there. Not that Huntley's bad, because I think Huntley does a pretty good job, but he's not Lamar, and the offense is not near as productive. Baltimore's defense has got to step up,
and they need J.K. Dobbins to have another good game like he had since he's back.
That's what they did the last game. They just pounded the football. Yeah. Huntley ran, two running backs ran. Baltimore, that's what they want to be. They want to be a pounding football team. It's been hard for them to do that with all the injuries they've had at running back. But they have 3 running backs there that can run the football. So
no, you're right. They do. And then the last game of the night on Saturday night, could be a real good game. We'll see. You have the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 7-point favorites in this game at home, minus 300 on the money line. Dolphins are plus 245 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 44.5. I like the Bills to win this game. 7 points it's right there on my edge. I still haven't decided if I'm taking this game as one of my picks of the day. And the reason is I think the Bills win this game. I think the Bills are the better football team. And I know that Miami beat the Bills earlier in the season, but if you looked at the numbers, the Bills should have won that game. That was one of them games that was just crazy. They had over 400 yards of offense, and they fell short at the end, ran out of time trying to win the game. And you got a Miami Dolphins team going to Buffalo where it's going to be below 30 degrees. Should be snow, probably going to be snowing the way they're talking. They're talking they can get 7 inches of snow. And you got a quarterback in Tua that has not played well in cold weather. When the temperature's been under 30 degrees, he's 0-3 and has like a 14.5 QB rating. He hasn't played well in the cold. Not saying that he's not capable of, but that's just something that shows he hasn't to this point. So I like the Bills. Man, the 7 points worries me a little bit in this game.
I think the Bills are going to – I didn't pick the game. I think the Bills are going to beat them more than 7. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 10, 13, or 14 points. I seen what San Diego did to Miami last week. Buffalo's defense is a lot better than San Diego's defense. Buffalo's offense overall is better than San Diego's offense. It's going to be in the cold weather. Tua hasn't looked good the last 2 games. I think the defenses have figured him out a little bit. I think Buffalo is going to beat them by more than 1 touchdown. I think 10 points or more.
All right. Then on Sunday, NFL, Falcons at the Saints. Saints are 4-point favorites at home, minus 198 on the money line. Falcons are plus 166 on the money line. I would probably favor the Saints in this game. Falcons are starting a new quarterback in rookie Ritter. Not saying that he's not going to be better than Mariota, but I think the Saints defense is a little bit better than the Falcons defense. That's why I lean toward the Saints in this game.
I'm interested to see what this Ritter can do. I liked him at Cincinnati. Yeah. But whether he's big enough, he kind of reminded me of Kyler Murray a little bit. I hope he does well, but we'll see.
Then you have the Detroit Lions at the New York Jets. The Lions are 1-point favorites, minus 116 on the money line. The Jets are minus 102 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 43.5. And this is kind of funny, and it's not kind of funny because it's actually a shot, but the Jets were favorites in this game until this morning when they announced that Mike White wasn't going to be playing. that it was going to be Zach Wilson because Mike White hasn't cleared concussion protocols yet. So it looks like Zach Wilson's going to be starting for the Jets. So now the Lions there was a 3-point swing. Now the Lions are a 1-point favorite in this game. I like the Lions in this game anyway. I don't care who the Jets quarterback is. I like the Lions offense. I know the Jets have a good defense.
Ain't that the Jets though?
Yeah, it is in New York.
That's the only. Detroit's played better at home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I like Detroit. Their record should be a lot better than what it is. There was some injuries. There were some blown games. I like Detroit. I like what that coach is doing there. I hope they win. I hope Detroit makes playoffs. I hope they can go on the run.
I'd like to see Detroit make the playoffs too. But yeah, I like Detroit in that game. I think they're going to be because the Jets just don't have enough on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think, and I think the Lions will be able to score some points. Yes, that Jets defense can slow them down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough if that offense can't do anything.
One key is Goff's been playing really well. Main thing for Goff is to continue what he's been doing and not turn the ball over. When he don't turn the ball over, he's pretty effective.
Oh, yeah. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. The Chiefs are 14.5-point favorites, minus 1,000 on the money line. The Texans are plus 660 on the money line. Over-unders at 49.5. I like the Chiefs to win this game. 14.5 points is too many points for me to give up in an NFL game, though. I mean, we just saw what the Texans did against the Cowboys and was able to hang around there. I'm not saying that the Cowboys are as good as the Chiefs because they haven't been playing at the level the Chiefs have, especially the last couple of weeks. I think the Chiefs win the game, but 14.5 points is a little too many for me. Philadelphia Eagles at the Bears. Eagles are 9-point favorites, minus 400 on the money line. The Bears are plus 315 on the money line. Over-unders at 48.5. I like the Eagles in this game. Eagles are better on both sides of the ball than the Bears and on the offensive and defensive lines. Even though Justin Fields has been playing better, but he does have that hurt shoulder. I like the Eagles in this game. And maybe even the under the 48.5 because I don't see the Bears scoring a whole lot of points.
The only chance the Bears have got is they got to run the football and control the clock. That's the only chance they've got. But Philadelphia's defense has been playing better against the run as of late. But that's the only chance the Bears have got. If they can't run the football, they're going to. I like Philly in that.
And then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are 3-point favorites, minus 148 on the money line. The Steelers are plus 126 on the money line. Over-unders at 37.5. You have a Steelers team that is the starting quarterback is going to be Mason Rudolph this week. I think Pitts is still out with the injury. I don't know why they went with, if Les Trubisky's hurt, why they went with Trubisky or Rudolph over Trubisky don't make a lot of sense to me. The Panthers, they've traded away McCaffrey this year. They fired their coach. They got rid of a quarterback that they brought in this year. But if you look, they're right. They are right there to make the playoffs.
Well, it's a bad division, but yeah, they are right there.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is a big game for the Panthers, and it's a game. I think it's a winnable game for the Panthers. The Steelers' offense don't score a whole lot of points. Steelers have a pretty good defense, but the Panthers have pretty good defense as well. So I think it's going to be a real close game. But I like the Panthers in this game.
I do too. I think as long as Carolina quarterback don't turn the ball over, I think they'll win the game.
And I think that coach there, that Wilkes, I think they should take a hard look at him as being their next permanent coach, because I'll tell you why, he's got this team playing hard, and he's doing a lot with what he has there, because they traded away your best player McCaffrey, and you know what I mean. So I like what he's doing there. So I think Wilkes should get a good look at that job. Next game is the Cowboys at the Jaguars. This is a game a lot of people are calling a trap game for the Cowboys. Will the Cowboys overlook the Jaguars? Looking forward to that game next week against the Philadelphia Eagles, big divisional game. Cowboys are 4.5-point favorites, minus 215 on the money line. The Jags are plus 180 on the money line. Over-unders at 48. Uh, I think the Cowboys are going to end up winning this game, and mainly because of their defense. But if the Jacksonville can get their run game going, because that's a one weakness in the Cowboys defense can be that stopping that run. I think they can. But I say that too. But if you're watching that Colts game, there was times when the Colts threw the ball down the field that Dallas has some injuries at cornerback, so you can take advantage of that. And with Doug Peterson there calling the plays in Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence, who's played a lot better this year than he did last year, you saw a lot of growth. He still had a couple games where he got careless with the ball and threw some bad interceptions, but starting to look like the player that most people thought he was going to be. I think it could be a closer game than what people think, but I think the Cowboys, by and large, end up winning this game.
Yeah, I got to favor Dallas. I don't know if Jacksonville's defense is going to be able to stop Dallas running and play action off the run. So I got to give Dallas the advantage. But Jacksonville, it wouldn't shock me if Jacksonville pulled out a victory.
No, it wouldn't me either. Hey, what's up, Diggs? Thanks for joining us. And then the next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Denver Broncos. Two teams that have been real disappointing teams this year. If you go by expectations coming in, I know a lot of people thought Broncos was going to be contenders for that division and Super Bowl contenders. But the Broncos are 1.5-point favorites, minus 126 on the money line against the Cardinals, who are plus 108 on the money line. The Cardinals, the same thing. I'm not saying people thought they were Super Bowl bound, but people thought they were going to be a playoff contender and be able to be a threat in the NFC, and they've not even been close to being a threat. This is a hard one for me. I favor the Broncos because it's in Denver and the Broncos defense. Because the Cardinals have not looked good offensively. It could be Colt McCoy back, or it will be Colt McCoy back at Cardinals because you've lost Murray for the season. I just trust the Broncos defense more than I do the Cardinals defense. Yeah. So that's why I like Denver to pick up a win here at home.
Yeah, Colt McCoy they hasn't looked good. So I gotta go with Denver.
All right, then we have the New England Patriots at the Raiders. Raiders are 1.5-point favorites. They are minus 120 on the money line. The Patriots are plus 102 on the money line. Over-unders at 44.5. I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Raiders are better offensively than the Patriots, but I think that the Patriots are the better defensive team. And you have, of course, a guy in McDaniels that has been with New England for a long time, and been with Belichick for a long time. So he knows that system and stuff. So it's going to be an interesting game. And I know coaches that are under the Belichick tree have not fared well going back and playing against New England. But the Raiders have been playing better football over the last 3 or 4 games. So I like the Raiders just because I think they're going to be able to score more points than the Patriots.
Yeah, I think so too. But the thing about the Raiders, Chris, is something I seen today. I can't remember if it was 3 games or 4 games that they blew. They had over 13-point leads in the game. It was either 3 games or 4 games this year that they had at one point had 13-point lead and lost those games. Now, let's say you swing that back and give them 3 wins.
Yeah,
there'd be a totally different record right now.
No, yeah, it could be.
So I mean, I know it's hard sometimes. You'll what ifs, but I mean, then that's not fair. But having a real good record and a bad record can be pretty. It's not always black and white. Well, that team's just terrible. Well, it's just not always that way.
No. And then we have the Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers. You have a struggling Titans team that's coming off three losses in a row against a Chargers team that picked up a big win last week. Justin Herbert's finally looking like he's almost 100% from that rib injury he suffered earlier in the year that he's been playing through. The Chargers are 3-point favorites, minus 152 on the money line. Titans are plus 128 on the money line. Over-unders at 46.5. I like the Chargers in this game. I think they're coming to this game with the momentum on their side. Only thing that worries me is this Titans defense is pretty damn good. And I think Mike Vrabel is a better coach than Staley, and I think that could come maybe if this is a close game could come back to kind of haunt the Chargers. But I think the Chargers offensively getting everybody back, having Allen back, having Williams back, I think they're going to be able to put up some points on this Titans defense. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers, and if them defensive backs play anything like they did against Tua last week, it's going to be it could be a long day for the Titans.
I think the key for in that game is San Diego has been for the last 2 years the worst defense against the run.
Yeah.
Can they slow Henry down?
They got to be able to.
If they don't slow Henry down, I'll go with Tennessee. But Tennessee has got to be careful because, man, if they was to lose another game, and if Jacksonville put off an upset, you can't count Jacksonville out for the division.
No, Jacksonville still has life.
So if they could pull off an upset and Tennessee lose, they're right there. So a big game.
Then we have the Bengals at the Buccaneers. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites, minus 198 on the money line. The Bucs are plus 166 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 44.5. And I like the Bengals in this game. Bengals are looking like they're finally getting it all together at the right time of the season. They had a brand new offensive line. You're finally seeing them guys start to gel. And we've all seen what Joe Burrow can do when he has time. They have a lot of weapons. I know they have a couple of them that are banged up right now with Higgins and Boyd, but I don't think neither one of them are severe injuries, and they should be back pretty quick. They got Chase back now. Buccaneers, they for some reason they can't score points. They get yards. I mean, they move the ball, but they just been terrible in the red zone for some reason. And the connection with Brady to Evans deep that the last couple of years has been one of the more deadly connections. Has not been on this year at all. I like the Bengals in this game on the road at the minus 30 at the minus 3.5.
I do too.
Then Sunday Night Football, a big important NFC East matchup. New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Both these teams are battling for wild card spots. Played a couple weeks ago in like a 20-20 tie. They got the Commanders as 4.5-point favorites at home in this game this time around, and the Giants are plus 176. I like the Commanders here. I'm not confident enough to take them at 4.5 points because I could see this being probably a 3-point game. Could come down to a field goal kick at the end. I like the under the 40.5 more in this game more than I do anything. But the Commanders have been hot. Commanders have been hot. The Giants are on like a 3-game losing streak. And then Monday night, the end of the week, you have the Los Angeles Rams against the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 6.5-point favorites, minus 320 on the money line. The Rams are plus 260 on the money line. Over-unders at 39.5. I think this is going to be a good game because neither one of these teams are great. I think the Packers win the game. I know Baker Mayfield let it come back and everything last time he was out there. I think some of that has to do with the defense really didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? Because he was only there for like a day and a half. Yeah. So sometimes you see that. I mean, how many times have you seen a backup come in and look real good because they didn't game plan for him, and then the next week when the team has time to game plan for him, not look as good. So I think we might see that with Baker this week. I think we might see a little drop off. It's just he hasn't proven that this season or over the last couple seasons that he can play consistently at that level. And I know Green Bay hasn't been great. Rodgers hasn't had his best season, but I like Green Bay at home in the cold better than I do the Rams.
I think so too.
That's all the NFL games. Well, before we get to our picks of the day, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow us on Facebook and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room as well. We'd greatly appreciate it. You can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. It's where I post all the information about our shows. Please hit the subscribe button for the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network as well on YouTube. Like and follow on Twitch. If you're a pro wrestling fan, we will be at a wrestling show tomorrow. And if you're in the Indianapolis area, I highly recommend go check it out. Thunder Blunder 4 at the Emerson Theater, Indianapolis, Indiana. You can get tickets for like $15, like $13, and like $12 or something like that.
15 for front row, 13 for second row, $10 general admission.
Yeah, so come check that out. That's be Saturday night. Bell time's at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Not sure if we'll be live yet because of the internet access, but if we're not live, we will air it afterwards. We'll let you guys know when. But then Sunday, we will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern from Danville, Indiana for Warrior Pro Wrestling 16. Should be a great show. We'll be live for that 3 p.m. So you get a little overloaded on football. If your favorite team is getting their ass kicked, you want to get a break, turn it over, watch some wrestling. You'll be able to see all the matches. We do live commentary. It's always a fun time. But I'll get to my picks of the day for today on Friday. NBA, I like the Hawks money line, Kings -5.5, Pacers +8, the Nets money line, and the Dallas Mavericks money line. College basketball today, I like Creighton on the money line. And then on Saturday, college football, some bowl games. I like Louisville at the -1.5, Oregon State -9.5, Fresno State at the -4, and I like BYU +4. And then in the NFL on Saturday, I like the Colts +3.5, the Baltimore Ravens money line, and the Buffalo Bills -7. And then on Sunday in the NFL, I like the Eagles -9, Denver on the money line, the Raiders money line, and the Cincinnati Bengals -3.5.
Okay, my Friday picks for NBA, I got Golden State at Philly, Philly -10, Indiana +8 at Cleveland, and Denver -1.5 at the Lakers. Saturday college football, I got Louisville at Cincinnati. I'll take Cincinnati money line win. I got Florida at Oregon State. I got Oregon State -9.5, and BYU at SMU. I got SMU -4. NHL for Saturday, I've got the Boston Bruins money line win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I've got the New York Islanders at Vegas, Golden Knights. I got the Golden Knights money line win. I got the Florida Panthers at the New Jersey Devils. I got the Devils money line win. And then for Sunday NFL football, I have Kansas City -14.5 at Houston. I've got Philadelphia -9 at Chicago. I got Pittsburgh at Carolina. I'll take Carolina -3. And then I've got Cincinnati -3.5 at Tampa Bay.
All right. We appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, please hit those subscribe buttons. We gave out our picks for today and the weekend since it's the last show of the week. We'll be back on Monday right around 3:30, usually right around 3:30, with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. We appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully we have some good weekends this weekend and can hit some of these. Had a pretty good week up until yesterday. Yesterday was about the only day that we had a rough day.
Yep.
You had Dad had a couple parlays hit this week. I was like 8-2 one day, 7-3 another day. But then like yesterday, we both had losing days. But that happens sometimes. But we appreciate everybody watching. One more time for today's picks: Hawks money line in the NBA, Kings -5.5, Pacers +8. Nets money line, Mavericks money line, and college basketball Creighton on the money line. We appreciate everybody watching. We will see you guys on Monday with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show.